Hello, my name is Anthea Hui, and I'm the Regional Manager for Taiwan and Hong Kong at Newcastle University. My agent Oxbridge has asked me to make a video and tell you more about Newcastle University. Because of the COVID-19, I'm unable to travel to Taiwan at the moment. So hopefully by listening to this presentation, you'll get to know more about our university. So now let me share with you my presentations. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So today we'll talk about, first of all, give you an overview of Newcastle, and then I'll let you know our measures towards the COVID-19, so what we are doing and what we're planning to do under this very critical situation. And I'll try to introduce some popular courses, especially amongst Taiwanese students. And then I'll let you know about our entry requirements and the life in Newcastle. Okay, so first of all, location. Newcastle is actually located in the northeast of the United Kingdom. We are actually the largest city in the northeast of the United Kingdom. So we are very close to Scotland. And Newcastle actually have its own international airport. So the international airport is very close to the city center of Newcastle. So it's also, because our university is located in the city center, so from the international airport to our campus is also around 10 to 15 minutes by road. So it's really convenient. So at the moment, although we have an international airport, however, there's no direct flight from places like Taipei, Kaohsiung, or Hong Kong to Newcastle. So that's means you need to take another plane, for example, like Taipei to London, Dubai, Paris, or Amsterdam, one of these places, and then you take another plane to Newcastle. And if you choose to take the train, it will be around close to 3 hours. If you take a train from London to Newcastle. But if you are coming to join us in September for the very first time, we usually would recommend taking a plane rather than taking a train, because you will, if you take a train, you will need to take care of your own luggage, and it's also quite a long way to go. So this is an overview picture of our city, Newcastle. So you can see this is the main campus. As I mentioned just now, Newcastle is located in the city center of Newcastle. So it's right in the heart of the city center. So this is the campus. Literally just cross the road, this would bring you to our city center. And then nearby we have the St. James Park, which is the football stadium. And then we have the business school here. So business school is the first department to be located off campus. And then very close to the business school and the football stadium, we have the Chinatown, so around here. So in Chinatown, there are 2 Asian supermarkets and around over 10, close to 20 different Asian restaurants and cafes. So it's really, really convenient. So during holidays, for example, if you want to travel up north to Scotland, or if you want to travel down south to say London or Birmingham, you will come to here. This is the train station. So it's called Newcastle Central Station. And then along the River Tyne, this is called the River Tyne. Along this area is called the Quayside. So we have some very iconic bridges that you can always see from different postcards of Newcastle. So this is the Tyne Bridge, and this is the Millennium Bridge. So yeah, along the quayside, we have a lot of different pubs, restaurants. So basically, Newcastle is very lively in terms of art and culture. So it has got a very rich scenery in terms of art and culture. So always something going on in Newcastle. So in the UK, there are 4 cities that have its own metro system. It's like MTR or MRT. So Newcastle University is actually right opposite the station called Haymarket here, yes. And this is the international airport that we mentioned in the beginning of this presentation. So actually you can hop on a metro, say from the airport and all the way to Haymarket, which is right opposite the university. And like during the weekends, if you want to have a walk along the seaside, have a bit of very famous British fish and chips, walk along the seaside, or even windsurfing, especially in the summer. You can go to places like Windy Bay, Tynemouth, North Shields, South Shields. So the metro can take you all the way even to places like Sunderland. So it's really, really convenient. So these are some pictures of Newcastle. So just now we saw an overview picture of Newcastle, and we saw the Time Bridge here. Yeah. So next to the Time Bridge is this very iconic building called the Stage. It's one of the largest convention centers in the UK. So always many different events going on, particularly for concerts, musicals, always something going on. It's a very large cultural venue. And then this is called a monument. The monument is around 10 to 15 minutes by road from our university. It's also one of the metro stations. And this very, very beautiful building is called Theatre Royal. 10 minutes by walk from our campus. It's actually, as you can see, it's like a heritage. So every year they have many different cultural performances going on, particularly like a drama, play, musicals. And this one, it's actually the Tynemouth Sunday Market. So it's one of the metro station that we saw just now along the seaside. So every Sunday, they have the Sunday market. So you can go there, have a bit of coffee, have a bit of chocolate, and walk around, buy some goodies with your friend. It's a very nice and chilled area. So now back to our campus. So as you can see from the photos here, we are a very traditional and old university with a very established history. So a lot of our buildings are red brick buildings like the one you see here. But of course, we also have a lot of different modern looking buildings. For example, the Into Newcastle Center. So we've been working with Into for over a decade. So Into Newcastle Center is right in the heart of our campus. So it's a very nice and very compact campus. So now let me give you some key facts about our university. Our university was first established back in 1834. At that time, we are a very small school of medicine and surgery. But since then, we have developed into one of the most comprehensive university in the UK. And we're also a member of the Russell Group. So in the UK, there's a group called Russell Group. It consists of 24 world lead research intensive university. And very often they rank quite highly in the UK. So by now you would know that our university is situated in the north. Actually, we also have a rather small campus in London, and they deliver mainly business-related program. And here in Asia, we also have two campuses, one in Malaysia and one in Singapore. As I mentioned, so we are a comprehensive university, so we offer many different courses. So in terms of undergraduate program, we offer around 200 something program, and in terms of postgraduate programs, like a master's program, we offer over 300 something programs. At the moment, there are around 23,000 students, including 5,000 international students. And at the moment, we have around 80 students from Taiwan. So the majority of them study postgraduate. However, in the past couple of years, we also see an increasing number of students joining us from foundation, and then they progress to the undergraduate programs. So we would really hope to see more students from Taiwan joining us. So usually in May time or in June time, I would come to Taiwan to deliver a very special event called pre-departure briefing. But because of COVID-19 this year, so I'm unable to travel. So we are looking to do maybe a virtual event. And if you have received an offer from us for 2020 entry, we'll surely let you know the event details in due course. In terms of alumni, we have a very active alumni group in Taiwan. Many of them are located in Taipei, and some of them are located down south in places like Kaohsiung and Tainan. And usually the university will come to Taiwan to host at least one official event. And sometimes our alumni group will also host different informal events. So why Newcastle? In terms of the ranking, our university ranked as top 150 world universities according to the QS 2019 ranking. And our university graduates are very sought after by UK's leading graduate employers. So a lot of credit has to go to our career service. That is one of our dedicated departments that helps to enhance our students' employability. In the UK, there is a national exercise called TAF, Teaching Excellence Framework, and they have 3 status. And Newcastle is very proudly to be recognized for the highest achievement, that is the gold status. So it can ensure you that we'll provide the highest level of teaching quality if you come to join us. And in the UK, we also have another survey called International Student Barometer. So that is actually a survey that asks our international students whether they like their university and whether they would actually recommend this university to their friends. And we're very proud that over 94% of our international students said that they're happy with their time at Newcastle and that they will actually recommend their friends to study with us. Okay, so now let me give you some updates about our measurements towards COVID-19. So, yeah, let me share this so that you can see. Yeah, so our university have actually made a dedicated web page about COVID-19. So we would recommend students to visit this website frequently because this website gets updated very, very frequently. For prospective students who might be joining us for 2020 entry, we want you to know that all professional English courses are now online. So that means you don't have to travel to Newcastle to do the professional program. So you can choose either to do the 8 or 12 weeks program that will start either from June or July. In terms of the accommodation application for 2020 entry, it will be open later. And once it is open, we will email to inform all offer holders. And we anticipate that the start of the term will remain as Monday, 28th of September. If there's any changes, we'll let you know as soon as possible. Also, if we have to change the mode of delivery for September intake, for example, from face-to-face teaching to online learning or to different blended learning, we'll let you know as soon as possible as well. We know that some students may not be able to take IELTS or other English tests because of COVID-19. So in Newcastle, we accept different kinds of English tests. For example, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, Password, TOEFL IBT home edition. So please check out our English policy on our website. So please be reassured that our university is still open, although all of our colleagues are now working remotely from home. So there might be a slight delay in replying to your email and in terms of our response. But we are all here to support and to get back to you. So if you want to know more about Newcastle, we would actually very recommend you to chat with our current students. So this is the link called UniBuddy. So they are actually our student ambassadors. So please have a look at this website if you want to chat with our current students. So you can have a look at the students' courses, where do they come from, and if you've got any questions, you can chat with our current students. Okay, yeah. So for current students, these are just some information for your information. So we have moved all our teaching online since the mid-March, and all the face-to-face examinations have been cancelled. But of course, there will still be assessment. So students will be taking, for example, a take-home exam or different alternative assessments. And we have also increased our university library, e-resources, and set up different Facebook group to make sure the students who still stay on campus or who are currently staying at home are all safe and sound. So now let me tell you more about our academic structure. Okay, yeah. So our academic structure is actually fairly simple. We only have 3 faculties, namely the Faculty of Medical Sciences, Faculty of Science, Agriculture and Engineering, and Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. So these 3 faculties consist of 18 different schools. So now I'll let you know more about some of the popular courses, especially amongst our Taiwanese students. The first one have to be translating and interpreting, because it's always a very popular courses among our Taiwanese students. So in short, we call TNI, translating and interpreting. So it's actually a very unique 2-year program. For most of the UK master's program, they're only 1 year in duration. But for translating, interpreting, because it's a very unique program, it's a very unique and intensive program, it's actually a 2-year program. So there are 4 different pathways that you can choose: interpreting, translating, interpreting, translating, and translation courses. So everyone will study the same modules in the first year, and they will only specialize in the second year. So there are around 50 to 60 students in each year. So for the current cohort, we have 107 students for the current cohort. So that consists of both year 1 and year 2 students. For first year entry, students will need to get 7.0 in the IELTS. For second year entry, that means the advanced entry, you need to get 7.5 overall in your IELTS. And only IELTS tests will be accepted. So we do not accept other English tests, not TOEFL, not Pearson, but IELTS, because we want to use one standard test to see everyone's English ability, so that it also helps us to select students. So for 2021 entry, the IELTS certificates issued before the 1st of September 2019 will not be accepted. So you might wonder why I'm talking about 2021 already. The reason is because 2020 entry has already passed its deadline. So you can no longer apply for TNI for 2020 entry. But if you're already applying for 2021 entry, please note that there's one application deadline, and that is 18th of January 2021. So you must stick to this deadline. And following a successful application, you'll receive a conditional offer, and then we'll ask you to arrange your interview. So there's also one interview request deadline that is 1st of February 2021. And the interviews will take place in China and Taiwan in springtime 2021. So there will be no Skype interview. Instead, our academics from Newcastle will fly to places like Taipei, Beijing, Shanghai to conduct the interview. So you can see in here some tips some tips for the interview, like Q&A, impartial speech, different site interpreting tasks. And for this particular program, we ask for a 2-1 degree. Okay, so next we'll talk about e-business. Sorry, it's hiding. Okay, e-business. So e-business is very popular among Taiwanese applicants. So we have a generic program called e-business, and if you want to be a bit more specialized, you can choose out e-marketing, or if you want to be a bit more specialized and that you have like an IT background, you can choose out e-business information systems. So e-business is hosted by our business school. So basically it combines business strategy, technology, entrepreneurship, and organizational behavior. And so in terms of IELTS, for the business school requirement is 6.5 with no components below 6.0. And we ask students to achieve a 2-1 degree. So in terms of 2-1 degree, in Taiwan, that's mean around 75 to 80% in your Pinjun Fund, depending on which university you are attending at the moment. So the next one is entrepreneurship, innovation and entrepreneurship. So we have ABC, arts, business and creativity, and we have innovation, creativity and entrepreneurship. So these two programs are both very special and very niche. So it's not very common that you can see in lots of other UK universities. For the first one, ABC, is mainly dedicated for arts graduates or people who come from an arts background. So for example, you come from an arts background, you have very good art and design skills, but probably you don't have enough business foundation. So you don't really know how to sell your products into the market. So this particular program will teach you how to promote your product or how to write a proposal, manage your finance, something like that. And for those of you, particularly if you want to set up your own business or if you have a family business, you might be interested in the second one, the innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. So again, both programs are hosted by our business school. So they look for IELTS 6.5 with no components lower than 6.0, and again, a 2-1 degree. So the next one is management. So apart from just business management, we also have other related programs like human resource management, operations, logistics, and supply chain management. So when you think about, I wanted to study business management, actually there might be other areas that might interest you as well. So a lot of students will actually choose international business management as a conversion program. So it's particularly popular for students who come from a non-business background. And international marketing is very, very popular in Taiwan. So like international business management, international marketing is a very popular conversion program, particularly for students who come from a non-business background. For example, if you study arts or engineering or science in your bachelor's degree, and now for your master's degree, you want to get to know more about business, marketing. So this will be an excellent program. So you learn more about brand management, customer relationship management, e-marketing, a bit about PR. So this will be our marketing program. And MBA. So MBA requires students to have at least 3 years of continuous work experience with some management responsibility. So that means that if you haven't got any work experience, then you should not apply to an MBA. So MBA is only for people who have at least a bit of some work experience. So for us, at least 3 years of continuous work experience with some management work experience. So in terms of management work experience, it can be managing people, managing budgets, managing projects, managing different project management. So it doesn't really have to be that you're a supervisor, you manage people. It can be all kinds of managing experience. If you're not sure whether you're eligible for MBA or not, you can actually send your CV to our MBA program officer, and they can have a look and let you know whether you're eligible or not before you apply. Okay, so just now we have been talking about the business school program, and now we will move on to some other different programs. The first one is cross-cultural communication, or in short, we call CCC. It's a very unique program, and we are the only one in the world that offers such a broad range of optional pathways. Of course, you can study a standalone CCC, cross-cultural communication, which is an MA program, Master of Arts program. Of course, you can do that as a standalone subject, but actually a lot of other students who choose to combine CCC with another subject. For example, CCC with applied linguistics, with education, international management, international marketing, international relations, or media studies. So bear in mind that you can only combine one option, like CCC with media studies, but not CCC with media studies and international relations. So you have to make up your mind. So basically, for CCC, it will teach you the theories. There will be some practice about cross-cultural communications. And if you combine with other options, that means that you will study in 2 different departments. So at the moment, cross-cultural communications is hosted by the School of Education, Communication and Language Sciences. If you combine that with international marketing, you will also study at South Business School. This is a very special program, and a lot of our students are not aware that we host this kind of program. It's particularly interesting if you want to work or live overseas after you finish your study, or maybe you want to return to Taiwan after you finish your study, but you're looking in a more internationalized work environment in Taiwan. Maybe you want to work in a multinational companies in Taiwan, say Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Apple, then you might want to consider cross-cultural communication. That would actually teach you how would you communicate with people from different background, different language, very different mindset. Okay. So the next program that I'll talk about is called International Multimedia Journalism, IMJ. So some of you might know that our media program ranks highly in the UK, and IMJ is one of a very popular program in Taiwan. So this program is a practice-focused program. So I know a lot of Taiwanese students like practical program and they like media program. So that's why IMJ is very popular. It's informed by theory, but there's no dissertation. So you do lots of essay, presentation, reports, and practical projects. So if you're more interested in a research-focused program, I would recommend you to choose Media and Journalism, MJ. So actually, both IMJ and MJ share very similar semester 1 and 2. But in semester 3, the 2 programs will be separated. So in semester 3, the final semester, that is the summer semester, IMJ students will work with some senior broadcaster to develop advanced newsroom practice, whereas the MJ, media and journalism students will work on a dissertation. For media and public relations is a strongly practical program. So this program is open to students from all backgrounds. And if you want to know more about like event planning, PR, crisis management, like how to write press release, blog, vlog, script, this will be the program. So just now we talk about international multimedia journalism and media and journalism, and also media and PR. So particularly for media-related program, there are some dedicated extracurricular activities that you might want to participate. For example, you will be very interested to know that the BBC has a broadcasting center in Newcastle, which is only around 15 minutes by road to our campus. And they host monthly workshops and seminars that you can join. And we have something called Jasmine Local. It's a real-world, hyper-local hub that you can participate in, so that will help you to gain some experience. And also we have the Courier. The Courier is an award-winning university newspaper written by students and for students. So during the academic year, they produce the Courier is produced on a weekly basis. And we also have the student TV and the student radio. So all these kind of extracurricular activities that you can participate will certainly enhance your CV. So now we'll move on to another department. It's called School of Computing. So in the very beginning of this presentation, I mentioned that the business school is the first department that got moved out from our main campus. And the School of Computing is actually the second department to be moved away from our main campus and is now situated off campus. So this particular building is called Urban Sciences Building, which is situated in Newcastle Helix, or previously they call it Newcastle Science Central. So, so this particular building was opened in September 2017. So it is a £15.8 million worth of investment, and it's a home to our School of Computing. So it has a first-class facilities, and it's a very, very nice learning environment for our students. So in terms of the computing, we are actually the first university in the UK to offer a course in programming. So our first master program was dated back to 1960, and the first bachelor program was dated back to 1967. And by now we have over 100 staff that teach over 1,000 students. At the moment, as you can see, we offer many different master's programs offered by the School of Computing. Particularly, I want to highlight the first program, MSc in Computing Science, which is actually a conversion program. The reason I say hot is because we found that a lot of Taiwanese students, their first degree, their bachelor's degree might not be IT, but they might want to shift, and they may want to change their career, or once they work, they find out that they would actually need to enhance their IT skills, because nowadays everything's related to technology, particularly during the COVID-19. We use a lot of like online learning, Zoom. So a lot of people want to change to a new career to work in the IT industry, but they find in the market, there is actually very, very few master courses in computer science if you do not have a related background. So in the UK, if I'm correct, there are less than 10 universities that offer a master's program in computing science that is a conversion program. That is for students who do not come from an IT background. So if you do not have an IT background, but you want to study a computing science master's, Newcastle is the place to study. Okay, so but if you already come from a computing science background or IT background, then you should choose courses like advanced computing science. And if you already have an IT background or computing science background, and that you want to be a bit more specialized, for example, you want to learn about computer game engineering, which is very, very hot these days, or about smart systems engineering, or about computer security, which is again very popular, you can choose different programs. Okay, the last program that I'll talk about is called Museums, Gallery, and Heritage. So in the beginning of this program, in this presentation, when I talk about the overview of Newcastle, I did mention that Newcastle is a city that is very rich in terms of arts and culture. Indeed, both on campus and off campus, with a lot of different galleries, museums. So on campus, we have the North Museums, with the Hudson Gallery, which is the arts gallery. And in the city center, we have the Land Gallery, with the Baltic. So again, this is one of the reasons why our museums and gallery and heritage program are very popular, because the city itself offers a lot of different placement opportunities. So we offer 3 main programs: art, museum, and gallery studies, heritage studies, and museum studies. For the first one, art, museum, and gallery studies, you will need to have a related background. That means you will need to study art, or fine arts, or design, or ceramics. So basically, you need to have the art foundation. If you do not have a related background in art, but you're still interested, then you can consider our heritage studies or museum studies. All 3 programs will give you an opportunity to have a work placement in a suitable gallery, museum, or heritage sites. So the work placement are either 12 days long or 6 weeks long, depending on which modules that you choose. So you may not know, but our museum, gallery, and heritage program are some of the most established in the UK, because we have been teaching them since 1993. So if you're interested in like museum management, gallery management, please do consider Newcastle. Okay, so now we'll talk about the academic requirement. So in terms of undergraduate program, we accept many different qualifications like A-level, IB, 五专, or if you're already studying in a bachelor's program in Taiwan, you can consider to transfer. Or if you are studying in a senior high school, 高中 in Taiwan, then you can first of all come to join us for the foundation program first, and then you can progress to an undergraduate program after 1 year of study. So in terms of postgraduate program, so it depends on which university you're studying at the moment and which course you want to apply at Newcastle. So just now, when we have a look at business-related program, they ask for 2-1 degree, which means around 75 to 80% in terms of 平均分 in your university courses. For 2-2 program, like computing that we mentioned just now, or engineering program, they ask for 70% to 75% in your 平均分. So some student life photos. So So in the UK, we actually have an airport pickup service in every September during the International Welcome Week. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I've never been to the UK before, and I've never traveled to Newcastle before, so I don't know where to go to once I land my feet in Newcastle. But of course, because of COVID-19 this year, we are not totally sure if the university will be reopened in September. But of course, we will keep you updated in terms of the orientation program or the airport pickup service program this year. So some information about finances, about money. So Newcastle itself is actually one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. In fact, in Newcastle, 1 in every 5 persons is a student. So it's a very lively city, and a lot of facilities are dedicated for students. So if you will join us for a postgraduate study, that means you stay in Newcastle for 12 months, then we would recommend around £11,000 to £12,000 for 1 whole year of living expenses. So that would cover costs like accommodation, food, transportation, etc. In terms of accommodation, so we guarantee accommodation for the duration of your program. That means if you will join us for 1 year bachelor, 1 year master's program, we guarantee we'll be able to place you in our university accommodation for the full year. If you will join us for a 2-year master's program, then we'll guarantee you that you can stay in our university accommodation for 2 years. So there are different options that you can choose. You can choose university accommodations that is managed by the university, and only our university students can live there. Or you can choose a managed partnership accommodation that is like semi-private. So like it's like actually like jointly owned by Newcastle University and jointly owned by the private owner outside. And of course, if you have your own accommodation in Newcastle, like if you have family or relative or friends already staying in Newcastle, of course you can stay with them. And if you will study with our Into Center, like if you will study foundation or pre-master with Into, then you can stay in the Into accommodation. Again, the Into accommodation is located on campus. So this is an overview picture of some of our university accommodation. So you can see we usually try to separate our postgraduate students and undergraduate students. So this is the campus. Okay, so some of the campus accommodation are situated on campus, and some of them are slightly off campus, but still very close to the city center. So actually, in terms of our accommodation, no matter where you choose, it is actually very, very convenient. So in terms of student experience, we have over 200 different student societies. So there must be something that would interest you, be it about music, cultural, sports. And in terms of sports, we have over 60-something sports clubs. And we have taster sessions for nearly all kinds of sports. So because we actually recommend students, particularly for international students, if you will come to the UK, we recommend you, of course, you have to study hard, but at the same time, please do reach out and do join as many different activities as you can. So that would also help to enhance your CV, and that is also a very good chance for you to meet other students, be it home or international students like yourself. So these are some of the alumni events that were taking place in Taiwan before. So the university tried to come to Newcastle, so tried to come to Taiwan to host event at least once a year. So our alumni group is a very warm and caring, close group. And we really hope to see more students coming from Taiwan to join us. So now I've come to the end of this presentation. Just want to give you some contact. So this is my contact. And if you want to know more about the current student life in Newcastle, or if you already receive an offer from Newcastle and you want to speak to some of our current students from Taiwan, you might want to add or like the Taiwanese Student Society on Facebook. So yes, this is the end of my presentations, and thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions about Newcastle, please do speak to your counselors at Oxbridge. And of course, you're very, very, very welcome to email me and contact me at this email here. So the COVID-19 is a very challenging time for everyone, but please be reassured that the university is trying very, very hard to do our best so that we can be reopened either in September or in a slightly later stage. So together we will overcome this. We really hope to see some of you will join us in 2020 entry. If not, some of you might join us for 2021 entry onwards. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.